All right, guys. So welcome to day two of the Forex trading workshop. This is the beginners bootcamp, um, powered by 10 Trade to show forex traders how to take advantage of all of the opportunities in the foreign exchange market. So we started yesterday, day one. We looked at the theoretical aspects of what forex is. We checked out the different financial markets. We checked out what a pip is, what lot size is, what currencies are, the major currencies, currency pairs, the anatomy of currency pairs. We took a look at what's it called? Forex trading sessions, candlesticks, and anatomy. And then briefly, we looked at the MT5 platform yesterday. Okay. So yesterday we started on a really good course, right? And today we are going to be building on everything that we learned yesterday. Okay. So, and then yesterday, remember, we gave ourselves, I think, 2 or 3 assignments. If you did your assignment, say yes. The first assignment was the assignment on the currency pair, right? I said you should write out the combinations of all of the major currencies that you arrive at 28 pairs. If you did that, type in yes in the chat box. And then the second assignment was, if you don't already have an account with 10 Trade, you want to create your account with 10 Trade by going to the website or getting the link from the person that invited you to the webinar. And then you want to create your demo account and then log into your MT5, because today is going to be fully practical, right? So if you already have your demo account set up and then you're ready for today, type in yes in the chat box. If you have created your demo account, please use the chat box. Use the chat box and type in yes. If you've not created a demo account on MT5, type in not yet in the chat box. But if you are good to go, if you are set, type in yes in the chat box. All right. So we need to do this because I need to know that as we are doing practicals, you follow along. Okay. So give me some feedback in the chat box, guys. So I'll just wait on our responses before we move on. Can everybody hear me? If you can hear me, please type in one in the chat box. I'm not getting feedback from you. Is my audio okay? If you can hear me, please type in one in the chat box. You should be able to hear me and see the slides. If you can hear me and see my slides, please type in one in the chat box. Okay, Solomon can hear me. So I asked a question. I would appreciate our feedback. It's a really small class. All right. So please, I'm gonna crave for your engagement. I asked feedback concerning the assignments we were giving yesterday. Everybody on this class today was in yesterday's class. So, and you remember the assignment you were given. The question is, if you already have your demo accounts created, if you created an account with 10 Trade and then you have your demo accounts set, you've logged into MT5, please type in yes in the chat box. Okay. If you've not done that, type in not yet in the chat box. Okay. All right. Solomon has done the assignment. Okay. Who else has done the assignment? Anybody else? Anybody else? Sonny Patrick, you're welcome. Mr. Andrew, Kanayo, Razak. Kanaya said not yet. Okay. Let's get feedback from everybody so that we can move ahead, except you don't want us to, you don't want me to engage with you and ensure that you understand what's going on. The point of this feedback is to carry everybody along. So if I'll carry you along, you need to engage. All right. That's very, very important. So Sunday Patrick, did you do the assignment yesterday since I just joined it? Do you have your demo account set up? Did you create your account with Tentrade? If you've done that, type in yes in the chat box. Let me know how many of us are really serious with this class. Okay, good. So only 2 or 3 people are serious with this class. That's fine. So I'll just focus on the people that are responding. Okay, so let's go ahead and start this session. Okay, so if you miss anything, the replay will be made available on the YouTube channel by tomorrow morning latest. Okay, so let's delve into practicals proper. And today, okay, Razak, today the first day joining, you have an account already. All right, perfect, good. So where we'll start from today, very, very simple. I want to start taking us on the concept of stop loss and take profits, because very, very, very shortly we are going to be looking at how to place a trade using the MetaTrader 5 platform. Okay, but so that the things that we're going to be saying on the platform wouldn't be, strange, I'd like to deal with a few of those items. So I want to talk about the concept of stop loss and take profit. All right, so stop loss and take profit. Stop loss, take profit. Remember, so let's do a quick poll. As a Forex trader, what are the 2 major activities that you are going to be involved in doing as a foreign exchange trader? Okay, we mentioned it yesterday. If you remember, the 2 major activities that you'll be doing as a Forex trader in order to make a profit. What 2 activities will you be involved in doing to make a profit? Okay, give me a response in the chat box real quick. All right, let me know how many of us have followed us through yesterday's class. Okay, so if you know the answer to that question, put it in the chat box. It's very, very easy, guys. Awesome. Kanaya said buying and selling. Yes, correct. So you'll be involved with buying and selling. That's one thing you'll be doing in the financial market to make money, right? Andrew, correct. Buying and selling, all right? So now, remember that we said when you trade in the financial markets, it is either you make money. If your analysis goes your way, you make money. If it goes against you, you lose money. Okay, so there are some parameters that will control how much you can make and then how much you can lose, right? Those parameter is called stop loss and take profits. So let's start from what a stop loss is, right? So, and when you think about stop loss and take profits, I want you to think about exit points in the market, right? Points of exit in the market, right? Exit points, like the point where you exit a trade. So let's start with a buy order. Remember, if you are buying, that means you're anticipating that the price of the commodity of the currency is going to go up, right? That's why you are buying. So you want to buy low and then you sell high. Remember, we talked about this yesterday. So the way you make money in a bullish environment is you buy at a low price and then you sell high. Okay, so when you take entry here, so let's say this is your entry. This is the price, your entry price where you bought. So let's put a line there. Over here is your entry price. Okay. and then you are buying, that means you're anticipating that price is going to go up. So when you place entry here, possibly the trade isn't going your way. Okay, price started going against the direction that you anticipated, started going against you. Now you must realize that as price is going against you, right, you are losing money. All right. So in order not to lose all of your capital on one particular trade, that is where the concept of stop loss come into play. So stop loss is a price point in the market whereby you set it so that when price gets to that point, automatically you'll be taken out of the trade. So you can have your stop loss somewhere here. Let's make that red. Okay, so that when price gets to this stop loss price, automatically you'll be taken out of the trade in a loss. So that means just a small portion of your account will be affected. Kanayo said video not working. I'm not sure about what you mean. You can just slide your screen. If you are connecting with your phone, slide your screen to the left or to the right. You see the video, the screen share, okay? Or just join, just exit the session and then join again with the same link. My screen is not changing. Oops, give me a second. Oh. Can you see my screen now? Let me know if you can see my screen now. Oh, I'm so sorry. So let's start from the very beginning, okay? Let's start from the beginning. So we're talking about stop loss and take profit. When you think about stop loss and take profit, think about exit points in a trade. All right, point of exit. So why not use an example of a buy scenario? So you want to buy a particular currency. Now, when you want to buy a particular currency, that means you found reasons to believe that that currency is going to increase in value. So your goal is to buy at a low price, and then you want that price to go up so that you can sell at a higher price. So that markup is your profit. Okay, so let's say over here is your entry. This is your entry price. It's your entry price. Okay, now you want to buy here. So over here, you clicked on buy on your trading platform. So let's say you are anticipating price to go up, but instead of the exchange rate, the price to be going up, it started going in the opposite direction. It started going against you. Now, as price is going against you, you are losing money. All right. So in order not to lose all of your trading capital on one trade, that is why we use a stop loss. So a stop loss limits the losses that you make. And then a stop loss is done automatically, so that once you set your stop loss, even if you are not online, even if you don't have data on your phone, but you've set it beforehand, as soon as price gets to your stop loss area, automatically you'll be taken out of that trade in a loss. So let's say your stop loss is this red line. Okay, you can see the price of that red line here. So you set the stop loss to that price, which is 0.94309. So as soon as price is still going against you and then possibly gets to this price, as soon as price touches here, you'll be taken out of that trade in a loss. So you wouldn't lose beyond this price. So that means you still have a major chunk of your capital in place. Okay, so that's stop. So stop loss takes you out of a trade in a loss. It cuts your losses short. All right, so let's label that stop loss. Okay, the short form for stop loss is SL, stop loss. Okay, now on the flip side, your reward. So if price is going your direction, your analysis was correct, price is going up. As it's going up, you are making money. You are making money. Okay, so you can set a price point, a zone, such that when price gets to that place, automatically you will also be taken out in a profit, in profit. All right. So you don't have to close a trade manually in profits. You can also set a take profit level so that when price gets to that point, somewhere here, let's change this to green, so that when price gets up here, because you have set it, this is the price here. It's a price, it's a price. Okay, so that's 0.96341. Now it is your trading strategy that will determine where you put your stop loss and then your take profit. Don't worry, we'll talk about that very, very shortly. Just understand the concept of stop loss and take profit. Now, for take profit, it is your exit point in profits. It's a point where you want to exit a particular trade in profit. It's just like saying that you buy, I gave an example of a tomato seller. So let's say a tomato seller is buying one tomato bulb, it's a tomato bulb for, let's say, 5 naira. And then she wants to sell it at 15 naira, right? Our take profit is 15 naira, okay, in that scenario. Likewise, what point do you want to exit this trade in a profit? That's your take profit. So when price keeps going up like so, and as soon as it gets to this price, automatically you'll be taken out of that trade in profit. So that trade will be closed because it has reached its target. So stop loss and take profit are exit points in the market. One will exit you in a loss, which is stop loss, and then the other will exit you in a profit. Okay, so this is for a buy. This is for a buy scenario. Okay, so let's look at how take profit and stop loss is going to look like in a sell scenario. So if you're trying to sell a particular currency or commodity, so when you are selling, you're anticipating that a currency should lose value. So if you are selling, you want price of the commodity to go down, right? So you are selling high, then you are buying low. Okay. So over here is your entry. This is your entry price. Over here, like so. So this is your entry price right here. And if you are selling, that means you're anticipating that price should go down. So peradventure, you were wrong. Okay, and then price started going up. As it is going up, you are losing money. In order not to lose all of your capital on that particular trade, it is recommended to use a stop loss. Okay, so stop loss stops the loss that you're currently experiencing on that particular trade. Okay, so when you set a stop loss, let's say somewhere here, and then you put the price, as soon as price gets to your stop loss price, immediately that trade will be closed in a loss. And then, like I said, once you set your take profit and stop loss, you wouldn't need to be online to, for it to trigger. Okay, it is sent to the server, and it will take care of itself. So that is stop loss. If price is going in your direction, okay, that means you are in profit. All right, so a take profit zone is recommended. So that's a point where you want to exit the trade in profit. So this is your target. As soon as price gets here, you want to be taken out of that trade in profit. So stop loss deals with the maximum amount you are willing to lose, right? Take profit is the maximum amount you are willing to make profit. So when you say stop loss, all right, so as a maximum, so let's say consider it as a risk, maximum risk, okay? And then for take profit, consider it as your reward, okay? Maximum reward you're willing to make on that particular trade. All right, good. So now that we talked about what stop loss is and what TP is, so the short form for take profit, I didn't talk about that, is TP for short. We call take profit TP. So you can have multiple take profit levels. You can take profit multiple times, right? You can take profit multiple times. So hopefully we'll talk about managing your trades as well as we go along. And then you can also close trades in partial losses as well. So as we advanced in our learning, we'll look at some advanced features of MetaTrader 5 as the need arises. Okay. But you can have multiple take profit zones. You can also close trades in partials at different points, okay, for your stop loss. So now let's go to the MT5 platform. Okay, so MT5 platform, which is the MetaTrader 5 platform, is one out of many trading platforms that you can use for charting and analysis. And also, it is where you will be taking entry. Okay, so right now, MT5 is a platform where you are going to be placing trades. So MT5 is an all-round platform for you. It's the #1 platform that you should be using for charting analysis and for placing trades, for placing buy and sell orders. Okay, so yesterday, I showed you how you can download MT5 on your phone and also on your laptop. Okay, so everybody here should have downloaded MT5 on their phone. It's on the App Store. And also there's a link when you go to the 10Trade dashboard, you'll see a section for downloads, right? And download will give you a link to download all of the MT5 based on the different platforms. So, and once you created your demo account, remember I showed you yesterday, your MT5 ID, the server details will be given to you immediately. A backup would have also been sent to your email address. So all you have to do is just log in. Okay, very, very easy. So let's talk about how to place a trade real quick in real time. So luckily for us, today is Wednesday, and then the market is live. The market is active. So we can actually get into trades, right? So we're going to be placing trades into the market, at random. Okay, so we are not doing any analysis, just to show you how to place trades. Okay, so let's talk about how to place entry, or let's start by talking about the different kinds of executions that we have. Okay, so let me go back to this page. So the different kinds of executions that we have. Okay, types of trade execution. Types of trade execution. All right. So we have two major types of trade execution. All right. Number one, we have instant execution, instant or market execution. And then number two, we have pending orders. We have pending orders. Okay. Now, at different points in your trading career or journey, you need to use either of these types of execution. Okay, but as a beginner, you'll be drawn to market execution as a beginner. Okay, and then also based on your trading strategy, that will predict what you should use. So when we talk about market execution or instant execution, what exactly are we talking about? Okay, so for market execution, it means that you want to enter a trade, right, at the current market price. So let's say you see an opportunity to buy USD CHF. You want to take that buy at the current market price. Okay, so that means Tentrade, which is a broker, will put you into this trade at the current market price. Right now, the current market price of USD CHF, let's check it out, is, oops, current market price is 0.91546. Okay, 0.91546. This is the current market price right now. 0.91546. Okay. So if you want to buy USD CHF, this is the price. So once the spread has been applied, all right, so this is the price at which you'll be entered into the trade. So that means if you use instant execution, you'll be placed in that trade immediately, all right, at that particular price. So your buy entry or your sell entry will start counting from the current market price. Meanwhile, for pending order is just the direct opposite of market execution. For pending order, you are the one that will choose the price at which you want to enter the market. So you are in control of your entry price for a pending order. So let me give you an example. Let's go to the chart real quick. So this is where price is right now. Let me put a line there. You can see this is where price is right now. Okay. If you use instant execution, you are going to be put into this trade at this price immediately. But if you are using a pending order, maybe based on your analysis, you see that price will still come up until this point. You can set a pending order so that you say that when price gets up, if price will reverse into this zone, you can choose to buy or you can choose to sell. Okay, so that pending order, you'll be asked for the price at which you want your entry to trigger. All right, so let's talk about the different kinds of pending orders that we have. All right, 4 major types that you need to focus on as a beginner. All right, so let's go back to pending orders. Okay, so for pending orders, here's what we have. We have 4 major types of pending orders. We have what we call, we have a buy stop, we have sell stop, we have buy limit, and then we have sell limit. Okay, so to help you understand this very, very easily, let's categorize this. So you have stop orders, and then you have limit orders here. So these are We have stop orders, and then we have limit orders. So when we say stop orders, I want you to think about continuation. I will explain shortly, okay? So we'll go deep into each of these orders. But when we say stop orders, at the back of our mind, think about continuation. Because if you cram buy stop, sell stop, and sell limits, you might make some mistakes. But if you understand the concept, it's easy for you to pick the tool that you want to use easily. Okay, so buy stop, sell stop are stop orders. And what are stop orders? Are orders in which you want to enter the continuation of the move. When you see a buy move, you want to place a stop order to continue that buy move. When you see a sell move, you want to place a stop order to a sell stop to continue that sell move. But limit orders, okay, think about reversal. Limit orders deal with reversal, okay, such that when you see a particular price that is going up, if you use a buy limit, for example, all right, so let's just explain it now. So let's start with buy stop, and then that will throw more light into what I'm talking about, okay? But stop orders is continuation, limit orders reversal. Okay, so let's talk about buy stop. At what point do you use buy stop? At what point do you use sell stop? Very, very simple, right? So I'll take it very, very slowly so that we understand this concept. Okay, so buy stop. So let's say price is going, we have price going up like so. Okay, and then based on your analysis, you feel or you've been given the possibility of price continuing in this bullish environment. But based on your strategy, possibly you believe that price needs to break a particular point before you see an incentive for a continuation of the bullish trend. So you can place a buy stop here. Okay. So over here, you can place a pending order, a buy stop, so that it is when price gets to this point that you'll be entered into the trade for a buy. Okay. And that price over here, as you can see, is 1.03715. Let's write that down. Okay. 1.03715. Okay, so all of these details is what you'll be asked to put into your MT5 platform. So if you select a pending order, they'll ask you which one buy stop. If you select buy stop, they'll ask you the price of the buy stop. So when you set your buy stop, as soon as price starts going up, like so, as soon as price gets to this price, which is 1.03715, immediately, all right, you'll be entered into the trade for a buy. A trade will be opened on your behalf for a buy. And then possibly price might go your direction. So that's why that's why stop orders are continuation orders. So you are placing a buy stop to continue the move that, you know, before your pending order level, you want to continue the move. That's what buy stop is for. Are we together now, guys? Okay. So let's do an example for sell stop. It's the same thing. You just flip it. So let's say you see you see reason for a bearish momentum. This is just a generic example. The market should not always be like this for you to use a buy stop or a sell stop, but this will just make it a bit easier for you to understand. All right, so let's say you see price and then you see reasons to believe that a sell is going to continue based on your strategy, based on your perspective of the markets. You see bearish momentum, and your trading plan is giving you some zones where price needs to get to before that bearish momentum will kick off. So possibly over here is the zone where you want price to get to before you want your sell to happen. Okay, so if you want to sell here, you set a sell stop at this point. A sell stop, and the price of that sell stop is what? Right here, 1.03139. 1.03139 sell stop here, such that when price keeps going down, as soon as it gets into your sell stop order price, immediately a new trade will be opened on your behalf because you have a trade. Okay, so as a sell stop has opened, it's open a sell order to continue the move. It's as simple as that. All right, so that's why stop orders are continuation orders. Okay, so you are using a buy stop or a sell stop to continue the move of a commodity, and then because it's a pending order, you choose the price at which you take entry. So you are in control at the price that you enter that particular trade. Are we together now? All right, so let's talk about limit orders. Okay, limit orders is a direct opposite of stop orders. It's very, very beautiful. Now let's start from buy limits. Okay, so with a buy limit, let's say you have a market scenario like so, price is going like this, like so, and then possibly based on your analysis, you feel or you sense that price, you want to buy this move, take a buy, but you don't want to buy at this high level. You want to possibly buy at a lower level. And then you have reasons to believe that based on market structure, based on whatever you look at to take entry in the market, price is still going to come back down. So you believe that price will still come back down somewhere. So if you want to use a buy limit, that means you are expecting. So let me put a point here. So let's say over here is where you want to put a buy limit. So you put a buy limit here because you are anticipating price to come back down. So if price should come back down into your buy limit level, all right, as soon as this happens, you'll be a trigger, it will trigger, and then you'll be entered into the market for a buy. Okay, so that's why I said buy limit orders are what? Are reversal orders. Okay, so you'll be entered for a buy. As soon as price retraces into your buy limit price, you'll be entered for a buy. You can see it is a reversal. They are reversal orders. Okay, so this is where you take entry, and then possibly price keeps going up. So this is the scenario whereby you use a buy limit. And then, one major reason why most people use pending orders is because possibly because you don't want to be staring at the charts all day. You want to just set your entry levels and then forget about it, and then you can come back to your charts later. Okay, so it's very, very useful for people that are very, very busy, or people trading on very, very lower time frames. That's it might be difficult to really monitor it from time to time. Shedrack, you are pointing at something. Okay, you can type your questions. Okay, so that's buy limits in a nutshell. Let's talk about sell limits. It's a direct opposite. So let's say price is going up. Oops, beg your pardon. So price is going down. You want to sell with a sell limit. Sell limits. You want to sell on a reversal. So let's say price is going down like so. Okay. So based on your analysis, your structure, the way you look at the markets, you have reasons to believe that price will still reverse, will retrace. Okay. So this is where you put your sell limit over here. Sell limit. You want to sell at this point. So, and then the price is 1.05576. That's the sell limit price. So when you put a sell limit over here, what are you saying? You're expecting price to what? Reverse. Once price should reverse, okay, your trigger will take effect, and then a sell will occur from this place. So your trigger would bring about a sell, okay, which is a reversal. That's why limit orders are reversal orders. Okay, so as you practice, as you do back testing, everything will come together for you. For like the first few times that you try to use it, you might need to go back to your understanding of this concept to really remember it. But once you start using it 2 to 5 times, you will have a good hang of it. Okay, but one thing that helped me really master pending orders is this concept. So I categorized buy limits, buy stop into stop orders and what? Limit orders. And then I said that stop orders is if I want to continue the direction that the trade is going, that the price is going, while limit orders is for reversal. So if you can understand this, you won't need to cram anything. Okay, it just come to you naturally on what you're supposed to do. All right, good. So let's go into MetaTrader 5 platform. So MT5 is our trading platform of choice. So, and then you need to download it on your phones and on your laptop. So I'm going to try this out on laptop. I'll also try it out on the phone because some of us are connecting with laptop. So we'll try it out on the laptop and on the phone. Okay. So how do you place a trade on the MT5 for laptop? Tomorrow, we are going to do a full walkthrough of the MT5 platform. Okay, so tomorrow I'll teach you how to use MT5 properly. So we'll check out most of the features of MT5. Tomorrow we'll also look at a platform called TradingView very, very briefly. But for the course of time, let's deal with the most important things before we go to other things that are not so much very important, right? So how do you place a trade on the MT5 platform, right? It's very, very simple. Now, the first thing is that you want to locate the currency pair that you want to trade. So which currency pair do you want to trade? Like I said, we already know how to do the currency permutation to arrive at a currency pair. So by default, you will have affinity, natural affinity for a particular currency pair that makes sense to you. Okay, so then it starts by you going on the charts and seeing how price is playing out on those pairs. But very, very simple. On the left-hand side over here, okay, on MT5 over here, okay, you see a tab called, I think is Market Watch, okay, where you see all of these symbols here. By default, you might not see a lot of symbols, okay? But over here is where you are going to populate all of the currency pairs that you are interested in trading. So if you don't have any currency pair on this tab, just hover your cursor on any part of here, and then you want to right click. When you right click, you see some options. You want to click on symbols. Now, guys, if you are watching me using your laptop, the best way that you can learn is to do the exact thing I'm doing so that you don't forget. So you want to right click on any part of that section. When you right click, you want to click on symbols. So click on symbols. When you click on symbols, you get another pop-up here. And that pop-up will take you to here where you see all of the currency pairs available to you to trade. Okay, so this is all the currencies that you can trade. Okay, on Forex, you can see here you have US stocks that you can trade. Remember that I told you that TenTrade also allows you to buy stocks and cryptos as well. So US stocks, right? You have EU stocks, you have commodities over here, you have CFD indices, you have cryptos that you can buy and sell. Okay, good. So let's just stick to the Forex tab. So let's say I want to trade Euro GBP. By default, Euro GBP is not showing on this list. So you can see it's like gray. When you see that a currency pair is grayish, that means it is not active. You cannot load up the chart. So we have to make it active. How do you make it active? So that it will show on Market Watch. You just click on it, and then over here, you want to click on show symbol over here. So when I click on show symbol, you can see it's now changed to gold. And then doing that, if I go back to my Market Watch tab here and I scroll down, I will see Euro GBP is now there. So that is how you populate your Market Watch to show you all of the currency pairs that you'll be interested in trading. Okay, so if you found a currency pair that you want to trade, you can see over here we have a whole lot that I've already added. Okay, so let's say you want to trade Euro GBP. Just click on Euro GBP, right click on it. Once you right click on it, you see chart window. Click on chart window. So when I click on chart window, you can see I'll be taken to the visual representation of fluctuations in market price on Euro GBP. And then take a look at this. Remember yesterday I was telling you the concept of time frames. All right, so over have all the time frames available to you. So you can check out how price is moving based on the different time frames. So M1 is 1 minute. So that means every candlestick here represents 1 minute. Right? So it took 1 minute for every candle here to form. Let me change. Let me quickly do this. So this is the same chart. If you change it to M5 is 5 minutes. That means every candle here is a 5-minute candle. Okay. M15 is 15 minutes. M30 is 30 minutes. H1 is 1 hour. H4 is 4 hours. D1 is the daily candle or 1 day. W1 is weekly, is a 1 week chart. That means every candle stick here represents 1 week. So it took 1 week for each of these candlesticks to form. And then MN is the monthly chart. Every candlestick here, it took 1 month for each of the candlestick to form. So we are just going to be opening a trade at random. All right. So later on, we'll start delving into trading strategies. Okay. But how do you play the trade? So once you found the currency pair that you want to trade, you are on the chart window, you've done your analysis, and then you're going to take entry. Where do you go to click on buy or sell order? Okay. So at the very top here on your MT5 or PC, you'll see new order at the top. Okay. So what you have to do is you click on new order. So when you click on new order, you see this pop-up box here. Now, the first thing is a symbol, which of course is your real GBP. And then you'll be asked for type, which is type of execution. Is it a market execution or pending order? Remember, we've discussed extensively about these two. So if you want to enter in real time, you select market execution. So let's start from that. And then the volume, in this case, the volume refers to what? The lot size that we want to use. So by lot size, we mean either a micro lot or a mini lot or a standard lot. Remember, I told you day 3, which is tomorrow, we are going to talk extensively about risk management. So please don't miss tomorrow's session, because tomorrow you learn exactly how to know the right lot size that you should be using based on your style of trading and your capital. So this volume, let me select a micro lot, which is 0.01, all right? And underneath that, you find stop loss, and then you find take profit. Okay, so stop loss is price where you want to set the maximum loss that you want to make. Take profit is your maximum profit level. So let's go back to the chart. So let's say I want to buy this guy here. So let's put a line there. I want to buy here. So if I'm buying here, I want to put my stop loss, I'll put it here beneath it, and then my take profit, I want to put it above, because that's my reward. Okay, so let me go back to new order. Is there? So my stop loss will now be, the price already will be 0.88316, and then my take profit is what? 0.88962. Once we have that, we click on buy. Remember, we want to buy this particular guy here. So if it's buy, you click on buy. If you plan to sell, you click on sell. But for this case, we are buying. So when you click on buy, okay, you see immediately you clicked on buy. All right, the trade is now active, and you can see how much you are making or losing in real time over here. So over here, you are in negative 12 cents. 12, now 15 cents. So as you're making profit or you are making a loss, you are seeing what's going on. So when it is in red, that means you are in a loss. When you are in profit, the color is going to change to blue. Okay. And if if price retraces and gets to your stop loss, immediately this trade will be closed in a loss. If price goes up and hits your take profit, immediately the trade will close in profit. Okay, it's as simple as that. All right. So let me know if you are doing this as we speak, and then you have any questions. If you have any questions, please feel free to signify in the chat box, and then I'll clarify it for you if you need clarifications. All right. So far, so good. Are we on the same page? If you're on the same page, please give me feedback and type in yes in the chat box. Let me know if we are together. As you can see, I'm really taking my time. I'm not rushing any concepts, and that's because I want you to learn everything you want to learn. If you're on the same page, if you're together, type in yes in the chat box. All right. Thank you so much. I'll do Razak Israel. Good. So let us proceed. Okay. So let's do another example for a sell scenario. So I'm going to sell. So let's say I want to sell. Let me use the same parameters for a sell. So I click on new. Let me delete all of this. So I want to sell. So let's say I want to sell. What do? Go ahead and then you click on new order in it. You click on new order, and then you put your volume, you put your good, and then your stop loss. So I can use stop loss 0.88962. Okay. And then for take profits, 0.88316. So now for a sell scenario, this will not be my, because I want price to go down, this will be my take profit, and then this will be my stop loss at the top, since I'm trying to sell. Okay, good. So once I do that, what do? I click on sell by market. As soon as I click on sell by market, immediately I'm entered into this trade for a sell. You can see. And then the good thing about it is that you don't have to wait for price to hit your stop loss or take profit for you to close a trade in either a profit or a loss. So let's say you find reasons to believe that you want to close a trade. All right, so how do you close a trade in either a profit or a loss? Very, very simple. Okay, over here at your trading terminal, at the trade terminal at the bottom here, you see on each of the trade, you see an X button. We are all used to the X button for people that use PC, like everyone used to it. Okay, so X means close, right? So when you click on X, it means that you want to close that trade, and then if you close that trade, you'll be closing at the current loss profits. In this case, if I close now, I'll be closing in 0.01 profits. So let's click on close. You can see I've closed. If I click on close on this, same thing will happen. Okay. And then remember that you also put stop loss value and TP value. You can modify your trade at any point in time. So let's say you want to extend your take profits or change the values of your stop loss or take profits. You can modify your trade. Okay. How do you modify your trade? You want to go to the ongoing trade that is running. Okay, over here in this case. And then what do you want to do? You want to just right click. When you right click on it, you see different options, but we are concerned about modifying for now. So let's click on modify or delete. So click on modify or delete. Once you modify or delete, you can see you can change the values of your stop loss. Okay, you can make it wider or make it, you can change the values yourself. You can even remove it. Don't want to use a stop loss or take profits. You can remove it. But I recommend, as a beginner, please use a stop loss. I beg you, name of God, so that you don't blow your account. Use a stop loss. Okay, it's a bad how do you put it? It's not a good way to trade when you don't trade with stop loss, especially if you're a beginner. So ensure that you are using a stop loss for all your trades. Okay, so, and it is not every time. So let us say, so let's modify it. So we changed it. So let's say you want to open trades very, very quickly, for example, new, and then possibly you don't really know the exact stop loss price or take profit price. You can add your stop loss and take profit later on using the modify option. So I can open a trade without putting stop loss and take profit. So I can buy. You can see my trade is running already. You can see, as you can see, there's no stop loss, there's no tip, but I can modify this trade. Okay, and then you can see I can add my stop loss value and take profit. So let me just do something. Stop loss 0.88140, take profit 0.8940. Once you are done, click on buy, click on modify. Good. So that is how you open a trade, you place a trade on the MetaTrader 5 platform. It's as simple as that. How many of us open a trade with me, especially if you're a total beginner? If you open a trade as I'm doing this, let me know in the chat box. Okay. Let me know if you're opening a trade with me. Okay. So let's go ahead to the next concept. I would also like to show us how to do this on the mobile phone as well. All right, so I think I'll do that later. Let me quickly, I'm gonna have to join this session with my phone. My apologies, I should have done that earlier. Okay, but I'd like to do that for people that would also be trading from their phones, right? As a matter of fact, the majority of people will be trading from their phones. Okay, so we have to also do it on the phone. So in the next 2 to 3 minutes, I would have my phone showing, and then I can do a proper walkthrough on the phone as well. So while I'm setting my phone up, right, if you have any questions so far, kindly type in your questions in the chat box, or signify if you want me to unmute you so that you can ask your questions. All right, so I'll just wait for a few seconds, up to 1 minute. If there isn't any questions, we'll go to the next step. All right, so we're gonna stop this. So let's allow screen sharing. Okay, so I'm gonna go to, we can all see a phone right now, right? I'm gonna go to MT5 and then show you exactly how to place a trade. So this is the 10Trade MT5 platform. So quickly, for people that have not logged into the MT5 account on TenTrade. How do you do that? Once you download your MT5, okay, you want to click on this trade. Where that trade is, you see a 3-line thing there. So click on the 3 lines, you click on manage accounts, okay, and then what do? You click on plus at the top to add accounts. Find broker, you search for TenTrade. So, and then you see TenTrade Ltd. There'll be a lot of broker names there by default, but you want to select the broker that you are trading with. So you want to search for TenTrade. Once you search for TenTrade, okay, you'll be asked for your login, which is your login, which will be given to you. So put your login ID, put the password, just copy and paste there. And then once you're done, you click on login, right? So once you're logged in, you would have access to this page. All right. Somebody said I'm no longer audible. If I'm audible, guys, type in 1 in the chat box. Let me know if you can hear me. Andrew said I'm no longer audible. If you can hear me loud and clear, please type in 1 in the chat box. Thank you as you respond. Yes, Israel can hear me. So, Mr. Andrew, it might be from your end. I pray you can hear what I'm saying right now. Somebody can also help me chat him up privately and help him out. So once you're logged in on your MT5, you'll see all of this. Now, by default as well, you might not see some currency pairs in this list of quotes, right? So you need to add some pairs by yourself. So how do you add? You see the plus sign at the top right. Okay, so you want to click on plus. When you click on plus, you want to click on find symbols. If you have a particular currency pair that you want to add, so come here and then you add it. So let's say I want to add GBPCHF. So I think it's already the GBP card. Good. So if I want to add GBP card onto my quotes, if I come here, I just select it. Or if you want to add all of the Forex pairs, just click on the Forex folder and then add the pairs that you want to add. So just look for them and then you add them as you want to. Okay. If you want to trade any other commodity, US stocks, okay, is here. See what we have available. We have PayPal, Nike, Ford, Citigroup. You can buy Alibaba shares as well. You can buy Goldman Sachs shares. You can buy Facebook shares, Amazon, Apple, Alphabet, which is Google, Coca-Cola, Tesla, a whole lot. So you can actually trade stocks on the TenTrade platform because of what we learned yesterday. Contract for difference. Remember that. So let us stick with Forex for now. So once you have your quotes tab populated, how do you now take entry? You can also even do analysis on your MT5 for mobile phone as well. So let's say I want to trade Euro USD. So Euro USD is the first quote at the very, very top here. So so all you do is just tap on it. Okay, when you tap on Euro USD, you see new order, you see charts, properties, and the likes. Okay, when I click on charts, what will I see? I'll see exactly what's going on, just like what we saw on the PC. Okay, I'll see candlesticks giving me a representation of what price is doing. Okay. And then I can also change the time frames as well. How do I change the time frames? On the charts, just tap on it. When you tap on it, you see this circle thing. and you see M1, M5, M15, M30, H1, H4, daily, weekly, and monthly. Okay, so anyone is where, so let's select M30. If I do that, it will take me to the 30-minute time frame. So what I also want to advise everybody here tonight is if you are new to this MT5 platform, you want to explore as much as you can. Okay. Tomorrow, like I said, we'll dive deep into the platform. Okay, but I want us to cover some interesting topics before we start doing walkthrough tutorials. Okay, so I won't be able to really go into all of the features of MT5. Okay, so how do you play the trade real quick? Go back to the quotes tab. So I want to trade Euro USD. Let's tap on Euro USD, and then I'll see, you see new order. So click on new order. All right. By default, it to be on market execution. So if you want to change it to depending, you see it's buy limits, sell limits. So let's start with execution. At the middle here in the white column, that is your volume, which is the lot size, right? So which lot size do you want to use? Let me use, for example, let's use a micro lot, 0.01. Okay, and then you can see you'll be asked for your stop loss and TP as well. Stop loss is SL in red, and then TP you see is take profits, the one in green. So like I said, if you have your stop loss values, you can put it there. If not, you can add it later on when you want to modify. So just click on buy. At the bottom, you see buy. Good. So immediately you can see how fast that took us. That took. So immediately I'm entered into the trade for a buy. And then in real time, you can see how much you are making. So right now, I'm in a loss of 2 cents. 2 cents, yeah. All right. So if I want to modify this trade to possibly add a new stop loss or a new take profit, right? You can just tap on it a bit. Tap on it for like 1 second. When you tap on it for 1 second, you see the option, you see close position, modify. So to modify it, I click on modify. It brings me back to this page. And then I can add my stop loss and my take profit as I wish. Okay. If you want to close this trade the same way, tap on the trade for 1 second, you see the option to close the position. So if I'm closing with a loss of $14. Okay, so once your trade is running as well, over here, you see your balance, you see your, you see the balance, you see equity. Hold on, let me bring out a marker to annotate. Over here. All right, you have balance, you have equity, you have margin, free margin, and marginal percentage. So now, from the running trades that you have here, your balance is, this balance here is $2,479. Now for equity will be my balance, right, minus this running trade right here. Okay, and then margin has to do with a whole lot about the leverage that I'm using for this particular account, and then it will be determined by also the risk that I'm using. So we'll talk about leverage a whole much later, okay? But just for the sake of this explanation, focus on just balance and equity, all right? So that you know how much you're making and then how much you're risking at a particular point in time in relation with respect to your balance. Okay, good. And then when you are done with trading, you can of course check out your trade history as well. Okay, so how much did you make in a particular trading day? So let me just open another trade. Let's sell. And then let me close one trade. Let me close this trade. Close position, close the loss. So let's say you want to check how much you've made within a particular trading period, maybe daily or weekly. Beside the trade tab, you are going to see history. So when I click on history, what should I see? It will show you a list of all of the trades that you've taken. So at the umbrella tab icon, when I click on today, right, it will show me all the trades that I've taken today, right? Show me all my trades, all my orders, how they were filled, and every other thing you need to know. All right, show you so the profit here is in negative. That means I made a loss actually. Okay. So I would like you to, come on the platform and then play with it. Go through all of the tabs. It's very, very easy to work out actually. And then also by default, the color of your candlestick is not going to be red and green. You can change the colors to anyone you want to change it to. So let me just talk about that quickly. To change the color of your candlestick to what you feel comfortable with, just you want to tap on the chart. You see settings. You click on this wheel icon. That settings icon, we all know it. So click on settings. Right at the bottom, you see colors, customized color scheme at the bottom. So click on colors. All right, so over here is where you set your color. You can see bar up, bar down, bull candle, bear candle. So this is where you set all of the colors and then change it to whatever you want to change to. So once you are done changing all the colors, all right, you click on done at the very top and then you're good to go. All right. So let's move into the next concept real quick. I want us to talk about something that is trading related today. I want to get you busy for tomorrow's class. Okay, so we have about 30 more minutes left for this class. So let's attain a very important height. Okay, so let me stop sharing this and let's go to the chat. Okay, so let's talk about the concept of support and resistance real quick. Let's talk about market structure, guys, real quick. Okay, now you've learned how we place a trade. We just place a trade at random. Now, before you can place a buy or sell trade, you need to know exactly what you are doing. You need to know why you are buying and why you are selling. Remember, the skill set that you need to learn as a forex trader is the skill set to know exactly when to buy and when to sell. That's what you are doing as a trader. Okay. And the concept that I want to show you right now is a concept that will give you a clue as to the right zones to be placing a buy entry or a sell entry. So please pay rapt attention to this next concept, right? So let's talk about market structure. Okay. And in this aspect of market structure, I'm talking about one aspect of market structure today, or let's say two. So we'll talk about support and resistance today. Support and resistance. And then we'll also talk about trends. Okay. Trends, the kind of trends that we have in the foreign exchange market. Okay. So when we talk about market structure, what are we talking about? Literally, the structure of the market. Okay. So market structure helps us to interpret what is going on in the market. It helps us interpret the candlesticks, because take a look at these candlesticks, for example. To a layman, this is very, very abstract. It does not really make a lot of sense, right? The only way that these candlesticks will start making sense to you is when you start understanding the market structure concept. So the reason why we are learning market structure is so that we can interpret what this candlestick is telling us. We can understand how price is moving. Remember, candlesticks on chart like this gives you a visual representation of the volatility or the fluctuations in price of a particular currency pair. But what can we do with this? How can we interpret it in such a way that we will know the best places to buy and the best places to take a sell? That is the whole point of market structure. So it has been broken down to a few concepts, and then we'll talk about just 2 concepts for today, and then we'll talk about the rest later on. Okay, so let's start from the concept of support and resistance. Very, very quickly, support. Okay, so a support, remember, the market is binary. The market, remember, we talked about the bullish candle and the bearish candle. That's the only 2 types of moves that the market makes. Is either price is going up or price is going down. All right. So a support, when you think about support, I want you to think about floor. All right. A support is a zone in the market that acts as a floor. Okay, a support is what? A zone in the market that acts as a floor. What is a floor? A floor in your apartment right now. Most likely when you jump up, you have tiles in your apartment, right? Either you use tiles or you use terrazzo or whatever you use. Okay, when you jump up, most likely you cannot go beyond the floor, except your floor is not very, very strong. Maybe your floor is made up of wood, or the force at which you are jumping up is very, very strong, or you're jumping up from a very, very high point. That's the only way you can break that floor. Okay, so in the foreign exchange markets, we say a support zone is a zone in the market that acts as a floor. Why a floor? So let's give this a pictorial view, right? So this is your support. Think about support as a floor. Okay, so it's a zone in the market that acts as a floor. So that what does a floor do? Okay, price does not go beyond the floor. So if a floor would send back, would change, will reverse the trade. Okay, it acts as a floor, support. Okay, support and resistance are reversal zones. They are areas of reversal in the market. So another point to note is that they are areas of reversals in the market. The reversals or reversal zones. Reversal zones. Okay, so there you cannot miss it. Okay, so price would get somewhere and suddenly there's a change in direction. Okay, which is in this case, when price got to a support zone, we saw a change in direction. We saw a reversal. What is responsible for that reversal is simply support. All right. And then why exactly are we identifying support zones? Because we want to use it to predict what is going to happen in the future. All right. So we use support and resistance Because when you identify a support zone, it has already happened. Okay, you are looking at what has already happened. All right. So if price got to a support zone, so if this zone acted as a support zone, that means our ideology right now is that possibly in the future, if price should come back down into this zone, we most likely might see another reversal. That's the whole essence of identifying support zone. So we are using historical data to predict the future. Okay. So the whole essence of identifying support and resistance zone is using historical data, is history to predict the future. And most times history tends to repeat itself. It's just like, let me give you a practical example that we might relate to. Let's talk briefly about politics in Nigeria. Okay, in a few weeks from now, we have general elections, right? Now, APC wants to come into power again and rule the country. Likewise, PDP also wants to get back on track. Okay, and then a lot of times, because we know from history that it repeats itself, if APC should come back into power based on their precedents and antecedents, most likely what they've done before is what they're going to do again. Most likely, there's a greater chance of them repeating what has happened than doing something new. Okay, because that is history. That's exactly what we want to achieve with support and resistance. So you want to identify strong zones where price reversed in the past, such that if price should come back into that zone in the future, you are not ready to place a trigger for an entry. So in this case, for a support, right, price has acted as a support. So we have two touches here. Usually, what validates a support zone is two touches. When you have price react at a zone twice, and then that zone held twice, okay, it gives you some sort of validation. So that when if price should now reverse into that zone again, because the zone has acted as a support zone in the past, and then it has been validated as a strong support zone. If price should come back there again, you as the forex trader, you want to look for possible buy opportunities. So you want to buy at support. So why are you identifying support zones, right? Is because we buy at support. Write it down, guys. You always want to buy at support, because support will give you a low point, a low point in the market to buy. So you are able to buy at a low price. All right. Now, it's very, very important that I say this. Support and resistance is not a trading strategy, right? You do not just take entry based off of support and resistance. It's just a part of the checklist. Okay, it just helps you identify the zones that you should be taking entry from. So you need to add some more confirmation. You need to add confluence before you take entry. So we'll talk about that also in the next couple of days. Okay, so let's deal with the other aspect of market structure, which is resistance. Okay, and then we'll tie everything together. So we'll go to the chart shortly and then identify support and resistance zones. Okay, so let's talk about, so we buy at support, very, very important that you know this. So let's talk about resistance. What is resistance? A resistance is an area in the market that acts as a ceiling resistance, see it as a ceiling, like the ceiling in your apartment right now. If you throw a ball up and that ball touches your ceiling, most likely that ceiling is going to send it right back down. So for resistance, we've seen that price came to a particular zone, and then we see a reversal, a change in direction. Okay, what is responsible for that change in direction in this case is a resistance. There's a resistance, something is resisting the move. Okay, so this is your first cue. And then if you see another move into that point, and then you see another resistance, that means this resistance is now valid, is a valid resistance because you have two touches. So two touches in a support zone or resistance zone validates that resistance or support. So now that you've marked out this is history now for you. Now in the future, you are now waiting patiently. If price should retrace into this resistance zone, you are looking for what? Sell opportunities. Okay, so we buy at support, and then what do we do at resistance? We sell at resistance. Okay, we buy at support, we sell at a resistance zone. Why are we selling at resistance zone? Because that zone has given us historical data that there is resistance at that point. So most likely price does not want to break that point. So it is in that zone that you'll be looking for sell opportunities. Again, for emphasis sake, support and resistance is not a trading strategy. It just helps you identify possible zones that you can take entry. Because support and resistance zones can be broken. Price can go up now and break this resistance zone. Okay, price can come back down and break this support zone to the downside. That is why we just don't buy at support and we just don't sell at resistance. When price gets to a support zone, we need to add some more confirmations before we take a buy entry. When price gets to a resistance zone, we need to check out some more confirmations to take a sell entry. Give me some feedback in the chat box. Let me know if you understand support and resistance. If you understand, please type in yes in the chat box. If you do not understand, please type in no in the chat box. Okay, I want to carry everybody along as much as possible. Israel said he understands. Awesome. Okay, who else is on the same page with us? Audu understands. Kanaya understands. Fantastic. Okay, so that means most of us are on the same page. All right, so let's go to the chart and then let's identify areas of support and areas of resistance. Okay, so when you look at any currency pair, when you look at any chart, the first thing you want to look at to do is to start spotting areas of support and resistance. Okay, you want to spot reversal zones, reversal areas in the market. Okay, so now here, okay, and over to buttress the point I'm trying to make. Right over here, I can see that price. You can see this price was coming down. Hold on, price was coming down. Swift change in direction. You cannot miss it. It's very, very visible. A change in direction. What is responsible for that change in direction is a support, is a zone. All right. So let's mark out that zone. Okay. Price, what the price do? Price came back down into that zone, right? So now what do you have? A support, right? So let me make this a bit realistic for us. So let's use this bar replay. Okay, so we saw that price reacted at this zone twice. So that's why we are okay, and we are back. Okay, so hold on. So we're looking at support, and like I said, we have validated a support zone because price has reacted at that zone twice. So the next time that price will retrace into the zone, we want to be looking for buy opportunities, all right, in this zone. So when I play this forward, you see what's actually going to happen. Okay, so when price go back down, you can see price acted in that zone, and ultimately you can see that price, if you have bought here, you would have been in the right direction. Okay, you have been in profit. Okay, so the buy move took place from this support, all right, because you've been able to validate a support. Okay, you want to validate a support by looking at two touches in that zone first. Once you find two touches, that zone is validated. So at the third touch, at the fourth touch of that zone, you want to look for entry. So you can see this is the third touch, right? And then price came back, went up. So if price should retrace again into that zone, you still also want to look for buy opportunities. Okay, because the support zone has not been broken yet. Okay, so let's see if price will still respect this support zone or price will break it. So you can see slightly when price retraced into the zone, we can see a little bit of activity here. So you'd have made some profits. But ultimately, let's see if we'll see a very strong move. All right, so that move happened here, and then we can see price went up, and the move started from where? From the support. But ultimately, the support zone got broken. All right. So that's why you just don't want to be buying at support. You have to look for some certain confirmations before you buy, which we'll talk about in the future. But I just want you to have a general knowledge or understanding of how support and resistance works. Okay. So let's identify more areas of support and resistance. Okay, so this is another support area. If you take the last, okay, so you can see first touch here, second, so it is a second touch. At the third touch here, we can see a bit of a move here, but ultimately price broke that resistance. It was not a strong resistance. Okay, these are another resistance zone over here. Okay, let's make this bigger a bit. Okay, so you can see price coming from all the way up, and it came here, and then suddenly we can see this change in direction. That means there's something pushing price up. In this case, it's a support zone. So first touch here is the first touch. Okay, price retracing, second touch. Okay, third touch here. And then ultimately what the price do? Price went all the way up. And that move started from where? Started from the support zone. At the fourth touch, price came back into that support. Fourth touch, okay, that support zone still gave us a good entry signal for a buy. All we had to do was to check out what happened in the past to predict what might possibly happen in the future. Okay, so for support and resistance, we are using what? Historical data to predict what might or will happen in the future. Okay, so we're going to tie all of these concepts together. All right, but I want us to be very, very comfortable with drawing out support and resistance zones. So I want to implore everybody here, before our class tomorrow, please load up any charts at all, any currency pair, and on any time frame. And I want you to just spot areas of support and areas of resistance. Because if you don't know how to spot them, spot what has happened in the past, there's no way you can spot what is happening in real time. All right. And you also need to train your eyes to spot areas of reversals, either in support or resistance. All right. So spend a considerable amount of time to just going on the charts, and then you want to spot support zones and resistance zones. So let's deal with resistance very, very, very shortly before we call this a night. So we'll stop at resistance tonight, and then tomorrow we'll talk about the other aspects of market structure, which is trends. And then we'll talk about also a possible entry system tomorrow for beginners that you can use to take in entries. Okay. So let's spot resistance. So let's look at where price is right now, resistance. All right. So what can we see? We can see that price over here, price went up, was going like this, and then suddenly, what did price do? Price just reversed. Okay, there's something responsible for pushing price back down. Okay, there's a resistance zone somewhere here. Okay, and then at the first touch, this is the first touch. Second time that price came here, you can see the zone still worked. So possibly this is a zone that you might be interested in the future. So in the future now, if price should retrace into this resistance zone, you'll be interested in looking for cells here, because history has given you that, okay, way back, this zone acted as a resistance zone. So possibly in the future, if price should retrace into the zone, and then you look at the confirmations, right? You can take entry for a sell, right? It's as simple as that. Let's do another example real quick of what has happened in the past. Over here, what can we see over here? Okay, you can see price going up like so, and then you can see a move, strong move down like this. So something over here is responsible for this bearish pressure here, this bearish move. So that means we have an area of resistance here. So let us mark that out real quick. Okay. So this is our first touch, the origin of the resistance. So price came back. So this is the second touch here. Okay, so when price, let's make this bigger. And let me replay this here like so. Good. So at the second touch over here, we can see a small reaction. So at the second touch, this has validated this resistance zone. So that means if price should come back, go back up into the zone again, if we see bullish candles align and go back up into the zone, we can be looking for possible sell opportunities. Okay, let's play it forward. What did price do when we found a retracement into that zone? You can see price, you can see what price did. Price went up. In a second, let's do everything. I see when price came up like this, ultimately this resistance zone, you can see it pushed price all the way down, and I think price kept going down for a while. You can see this move it started from a resistance area, so that's why we sell at resistance and then we buy at resistance. And you just don't buy at resistance without adding any confirmations. Before you buy at resistance, I beg your pardon, before you buy at support or sell at resistance, you need to add some confirmations, which we are going to talk about. Okay, so guys, let us stop here for tonight. We have been here for about 2 hours. I want us to digest everything that we've learned. Remember, we still have 2 more days together, so we have enough time to delve into all of the concepts. All right. So here's what I want us to do really quickly. Your assignment is you want to go to any currency pair. So on your, so this is your MT. Let me load up MT5. So this is your MT5. You want to go to any currency pair, either on your mobile phone or on your laptop. And then what do you want to do? I need you to start spotting areas of support and areas of resistance. Okay, that is what I want us to do this week. Okay, spot areas of support and areas of resistance. Okay, and if you are using your MT5 for PC or laptop, you can use the horizontal line tool or the rectangle tool. So you can use a line like so to identify the zone. Okay, or you can use the rectangle tool rather. Rectangle. Okay, with the rectangle, you can mark out a resistance zone or a support zone. Okay. Any questions, guys, so far? Do we understand the concept of support and resistance? If it's clear to you, please give me feedback in the chat box and type in clear in the chat box. If you understand support and resistance, type in clear in the chat box. Okay. But please, I want everybody to do this assignment. Go on any currency pair and just mark out support zones and resistance zones and see how they play out. I need you to be able to spot these zones and see how a support zone is controlling price. See how a resistance zone is controlling price. Awesome. Claire, Aldo says Claire, Israel, Kanayo, Razak, Andrew. Okay, perfect. All right. So, guys, ensure that you are also here tomorrow evening. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about the concept of trends tomorrow. When we talk about trends tomorrow, we will now add our knowledge of support and resistance to trends, because those are the confirmations that we are looking at. So you learn how to combine trends and support and resistance tomorrow. Tomorrow, you would also learn about the concept of risk management. Okay, so tomorrow, possibly, I'll also give you a proper walkthrough of the MetaTrader 5 platform and the TradingView platform. Okay, so Friday will just be a session where we can possibly just brush up on some things or strictly Q&A, depending on the needs of everybody. So please don't miss tomorrow night's session. It's going to be a very, very interesting and important webinar that you should not miss. All right, guys, let's call it a night. I'm super excited that you stayed till the end of the session. I'm excited that you guys are really, really hungry for knowledge, okay? And you know, when a student is ready, what happens? The teacher will appear. All right. So TenTrade has provided enough resources for you to be profitable. And this beginner session is your introduction to what we have in store for you. Okay. As you grow in your knowledge of forex trading, right, it can only get better, because we also have sessions for advanced traders. Okay, but guys, I'm excited about what you learn tomorrow, and I look forward to seeing everybody in tomorrow's session. So without further ado, let me thank everybody. Thank you for being a part of this session. Abel, thank you. Andrew, Emmanuel, Israel, Kanayo, Razak, Abiola. Who else? Okay. Solomon Musa, thank you for being a part of this session. And I wish us all the very best in our trading journey. Please do the assignments. It's very, very important, so that we can always be on the same page on these sessions. All right, guys, let's have a remarkable night. I'll see you tomorrow. God bless you. Bye.